Let's just get this out of the way right at the beginning. Snakes are not evil. They are deeply misunderstood. And I know that for some people, just hearing that sentence already makes you uncomfortable. Because if you grew up hearing that snakes are scary, dangerous, bad, or even evil, those ideas stick with you. And to be fair, that fear didn't come out of nowhere. We didn't evolve to hate snakes, but we did evolve to notice them. Early humans lived in places like Africa and Asia, where venomous snakes were common. The people who survived weren't the bravest ones. They were the ones who noticed snakes quickly and reacted fast. That doesn't mean panic is hardwired into us. It means awareness is. Over thousands of generations, that turned into what scientists call snake detection bias. And this is important. That bias is about rapid detection, not built-in fear or hatred. Evolution gave us a smoke detector, not a constant alarm. But modern culture took that awareness and cranked the alarm all the way up. Movies, religion, folklore, horror stories, viral videos, sensational news. And once fear is taught, it spreads easily. So people start thinking, if I'm afraid, that must mean snakes are bad. But here's where I want us to think for a moment. Fear and danger are not the same thing. This part surprises a lot of people. I'm not going to throw a ton of numbers at you, but here's some perspective. Since 1982, there have been roughly 1,700 dog-related fatalities in the United States. For non-venomous snakes, I could find 7 documented fatalities total since 1982. 7. And one of those wasn't even caused by the bite itself. That person died from something called fear-induced vasovagal collapse. Basically, their body shut down from extreme fear and he went into cardiac arrest. He didn't die because the snake was evil. He died because fear overwhelmed his system. That's how powerful learned fear can be. And yet, we don't walk around calling dogs evil as a species. This doesn't mean dogs are bad. Most are wonderful. It just means risk perception and reality don't always match. Fear often comes from misunderstanding, especially when it comes to snakes. Think about how some people cross the street when they see a large dog walking toward them, even if the dog is friendly and calm. In some cultures, dogs form packs and can be dangerous. The fear isn't random, it's based on stories and context, not the individual animal in front of them. The same thing happens with snakes. Most people don't dislike snakes because of something that happened to them personally. They dislike snakes because of stories. Stories where the snake is always the villain. Stories from religion or symbolism. Stories we hear as kids. Don't go near that. Snakes are dangerous. When you hear that message enough times, it stops sounding like an opinion and starts sounding like a fact. So let's slow down for a second and ask something important. When we say something is evil, what do we actually mean? Evil implies intent. It implies choice. It implies wanting to cause harm. And snakes just don't work that way. They're not sitting there plotting revenge. A snake is thinking about exactly 3 things. Am I safe? Am I warm enough? And when is my next meal? That's about it. One of the biggest misunderstandings about snakes is the idea that they're aggressive. They're not. Snakes are defensive animals, and there's a huge difference. Aggression means seeking out conflict. Defense means trying to make a threat go away. A snake doesn't want to fight you. A snake wants you to leave it alone. If snakes had a slogan, it wouldn't be choose violence. It would be please don't notice me. When snakes bite people, it's almost always because the snake felt trapped, surprised, cornered, stepped on, grabbed on, or handled when it didn't want to be. Learning to read a snake's body language and habits is actually a thing, just like in dogs. From the snake's perspective, something huge just showed up and ignored all the warning signs. And yes, snakes give warning signs. They might freeze, they might coil up, they might hiss, they might flatten their body, they might even strike without trying to make contact. That's the snake saying, I'm uncomfortable, please back off. And this part matters. An animal that truly wants to hurt you doesn't waste time warning you. Snakes almost always do. You've probably heard someone say, the snake attacked out of nowhere. But when you look closer, there was almost always a moment where the snake was already stressed. and the human just didn't recognize it. That doesn't make someone careless. It just means no one ever taught them how snakes communicate. For many people, snakes are also tied to religious or cultural symbolism. They've been portrayed as symbols of evil or temptation for thousands of years. But symbolism isn't reality. A real living snake doesn't know what it represents in a story, it only knows whether it feels safe. One of the reasons I personally like snakes is because they're very honest animals. They don't fake affection, they don't seek approval, and they don't pretend. If a snake is calm, it's because it feels safe. If it's defensive, it's because it doesn't. There's something refreshingly straightforward about that. Now, can snakes be dangerous? Yes, some species absolutely can be, but danger does not equal evil. Cars are dangerous, dogs can be dangerous, people are definitely dangerous. Intent is the difference. Snakes don't wake up angry, they wake up trying to survive in a world where almost everything wants to eat them. You don't have to love snakes, you don't even have to touch one, although that alone can blow away some of the false notions of slime and wet. They're smooth and dry to the touch, and you don't have to want one. But understanding them makes them a lot less scary. And once you realize snakes aren't evil, just misunderstood, everything shifts a little. If you're curious, nervous, or trying to unlearn fear you grew up with, please reach out. Let's talk about it. I'd love to hear your comments below, and please like and subscribe to hear more. No pressure, no judgment, just learning at your own pace.
Learn from the serpent's ways, to trust, to love, to simply stay. For in the silence we understand the beauty, the wonder, the mysteries at hand.